fellow colleague on the Daly City Centennial Committee, Marcus Gonzalez, who will be presenting us tonight with Remembering John D. Daly. Marcus.
Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. John Donald Daly was the man for whom Daly City was named 100 years ago this month, at the moment of our incorporation. He was not the first to settle in the area, but he was definitely among the most respected, beloved, and memorable of local pioneers. Daly managed the dairy ranch at the top of the hill for almost 40 years, from 1868 to 1907. Daly's life is a true up-from-the-bottom, rags-to-riches story. In 1853, with the California gold rush still going on, Daly left Boston with his mother. Traveling through the tropical heat of the Isthmus of Panama, Daly's mother died, and he stepped ashore in San Francisco, alone, poor, and 13 years old. He soon found work on a San Mateo dairy farm, learned the business, and married his boss's daughter. In 1868, he bought 250 acres at the top of the hill where John Daly Boulevard meets Mission Street. His San Mateo dairy barns were among the largest in northern San Mateo County. Daly had a steady nearby market in fast-growing San Francisco, and he prospered. Beginning in the 1860s, a railroad ran past Daly's spread. Soon stores, hotels, butcher shops, and other businesses sprang up in the area. A few schools and churches opened too. In 1885, after 10 years at the top of the hill, Daly moved his family into San Francisco for better schooling for his 4 daughters and his son. His Daly City barns and cottage are long gone, but you can still see his Victorian San Francisco house on the southwest corner of 21st and Guerrero Streets. After his move to Guerrero Street, Daly maintained his extensive interests here. Always an energetic and enterprising businessman, Daly owned many acres around the ranch. Directly east of his dairy property, he developed a rock quarry that provided crushed stone for stabilizing streetcar and railroad beds. He developed acreage southwest and northwest of his ranch that evolved into housing tracts. He invested in local businesses and offered any advice that he could to help them succeed. A railroad stop was named Daly's Hill in the 1890s. That name was considered the official designation for the top of the hill for over 20 years. After the devastating 1906 San Francisco earthquake and fire, Daly welcomed refugees to his hilltop ranch and led his neighbors in extending welcoming gestures. He did all he could to make sure the refugees got some food and a place to stay. Many decided to stay on and rebuild their lives here. Already a man of prominence in the area, Daly's acts of kindness made him even better known and appreciated. In 1907, seeing that many of the refugees were here to stay, Daly subdivided his ranch property, which led to even more housing tracts around. The top of the hill, north towards the San Francisco border, and west to the area of the Daly City BART station. By the end of the 20th century's first decade, Daly was a man of unrivaled stature and influence, locally and in political circles extending as far as the Governor of California's office in Sacramento. Daly never sought public or political office, nor did he seek personal fame or glory. However, he was always ready to offer his wisdom, experience, and assistance for causes that he felt would help the community around him. He helped establish a bank in the new community, donated funds for the first library, and was a political leader, if not a resident. On a one-to-one basis, Daly was known as a man to whom one could turn to for advice, a financial loan, or a hearty handshake. He joined the Republican Party at a time when it was regarded as the party of Abraham Lincoln. And, like Lincoln, Daly knew that the work of today is not altogether for today. It must also be for those who follow us. And as he stood on his hill in this unique location, with a vast peninsula to the south, the bay to the east, the Golden Gate and San Francisco to the north, Daly knew this community would grow into something much more than quarries, farms, ranches, a few small shops and churches. To that vision of growth, prosperity, and a better life, Daly was there to offer his considerable talents. John Daly died in 1923 at the age of 81. He never lobbied for the distinction of having a city named after him, but politely accepted it. He's buried at Woodlawn Memorial Park in our neighboring Colma. It is indeed appropriate, at this time, 88 years after his death, to honor and remember John Daly, as he's been affectionately known for 100 years, the father of Daly City. Thank you.